Yeah, I was always a very firmly a participation ribbon kid. My family is like, I call us indoor cats. I was the first person in my immediate family to ever successfully complete a somersault. Thank you. Thanks, Kim. That's our athleticism on display for you. But yeah, no, my husband runs half marathons and stuff. I stand on the side. I make really funny signs. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. But you guys were such an amazing audience today. Thank you so much for your energy. It was so good. I mean, you get to hang out. Corey's hanging out. Everybody's hanging out. Jay's here. You get to hang out with Jay all day. Yes, it's the best.
Would you like to have a few questions?
I would love a few. I got my seat. I'm ready to go.
Does anybody want to ask a question? We got some hands up straight away.
Okay, cool.
Lady in yellow or lemon? What are we going with?
Oh, where are we going?
Yellow.
I love it.
Stand up and ask your questions. Mary, go ahead.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Charlotte.
Hi, Charlotte.
I'm from Winnipeg, and my question is, how did you get this job? What did you have to do to compete for this job?
Oh my gosh, Charlotte, this is a big question. First off, thanks for coming from Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Right on. Honestly, I feel like a lot of times people will ask me like how I got my start and everything like that and how I got to here. And my honest answer is like, I don't know. When I went to school, I was going to work in archives. That's what I got my master's in. That's what I wanted to do, which is very much the opposite of this. But I had a friend who pushed me to audition for MasterChef Canada. And from there, I got onto that set. And the thing that I kind of understood in theory how many people it takes to like put a show together, but I never really did in real life. And walking onto that set and seeing what is called like the fourth wall, the big area where everyone's in black and they're all running things around and there's all these cameras and stuff everywhere. I kind of fell in love with what a team it is. So I was lucky enough to be on that show, to compete on that show, to somehow win that show. First trophy. And then from there, I've always loved cooking. I've always loved sharing recipes and stuff. And people always ask if I'd want a restaurant. But like the thing that's funny about restaurants that you don't realize is like you cook the food, but you never like have a personal connection with the person who's eating it. You get the plate back and it's empty and that's great. It means you're succeeded. But yeah, I did cooking shows then, which I absolutely loved doing. And then I've been lucky enough to work with this team for years, because this is the same team that did the Mel and Dennis show. And they're so amazing. And it's been such a delight getting to work with them. So the honest answer, I don't know, but I'm very glad. Yeah. Jay, any other questions?
All right, you had your hand up?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Logan.
Hi, Logan. I love your glasses.
Oh, thank you so
They're
much.
very nice.
I was actually going to ask, would you ever plan on opening your own restaurant in the future?
Ooh, so restaurant, I don't know. I'm more of a baker's hour person. Like the opposite of a lot of people. I feel like when I'm very much an early bird. So typically for this show, I'm up around like 4:30. 1 cup of coffee only though, so pretty impressive. So if I ever did anything, it would be something like that, or maybe a coffee shop. My husband has a joke that he wants to open like a bar that's only open reasonable hours, because we're a reasonable hour type of household. But yeah, something like that. Again, I think especially at a bakery or at things like that, you have more of that connection, right? You know your customers in more of kind of the front-facing way. Yeah, that's a really good question though. Yeah, nice. Also, I love your dress. Yeah. All right, any other? Oh,
Yes,
good. Right on.
here,
Hi there.
this way.
We've met before? Yes. It's nice to see you again.
Hi, Mary. My name's Monique, and I'm from Ottawa.
Hi, Monique.
My husband and I have been big fans of yours. Your biggest cheerleaders when you were on MasterChef
Oh, thank you
Canada,
so much.
And we were so excited when you won.
Thank
And
you.
we're super excited that you're going to be judging this
I
year.
know.
So my question for you is, what was the toughest dish you cooked when you were competing?
Oh, this is a really good question, Minnie. I honestly, I think the toughest dishes for me were when I didn't feel like a connection to them. Like I was cooking because I thought it's what the judges wanted to eat. Do you know what I mean? Like I think the way that I cook like feelings are such a big part of things. I love cooking for people. Hopefully they'll enjoy it. But I remember there was this fish challenge where we all got like assigned a different fish. And I had a steelhead trout, which is like this big. And I was like, okay. And I had kind of seen a recipe in a book or something, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna try that. And never done it before. First off, don't do that. Don't do something you've never done before. Never done it before. It was really, really intimidating. I was trying to make something very, like, I think, chefy for these chefs. And it was, I think, that was my worst, it was my worst dish, because it was, I wasn't cooking from the heart. I wasn't kind of putting in, I didn't feel connected to it. And I know that sounds so silly, but it's true. Like, I genuinely think the reason I love doing shows and writing recipes is that I get to share it with people. And so that was probably my toughest, not gonna lie. The first dish too, the lemon meringue pie that I did for the audition, I think we had like an hour to make a lemon meringue pie, like me, which is bananas. I knew I only had an hour. Why did I choose a lemon meringue pie? I don't know. That one was also, because that was also my first time running around the kitchen and trying to get it done. Yeah. But thank you, that was a great one. Yeah, yeah.
Ew.
Hi,
Anyone over this
else?
side? Yes,
Oh.
lovely lady.
Hi,
And you
this
do
is
cook
an
for us. Mary,
excellent dress
Mary
as
cooks
well.
for the crew every day, which we're very happy, and we keep doing it. Yeah, we get to eat the food.
Yeah.
We get to eat the food.
Hi, Mary.
Hi,
I'm
what's
Victoria.
Hi, Victoria.
I love baking. It's one of my favorite hobbies. I have a great recipe for chocolate chip cookies,
Oh.
but they never melt. They never spread nicely, and they always puff like a little bit of a cake.
Okay.
How do I avoid that?
So do they have baking powder in them?
They do.
So you don't want baking powder.
Okay.
So fun fact, I also, are you a crispy cookie gal, or are you like somewhere in between?
Crispy but chewy.
Crispy but
On the
chewy.
inside.
Honestly, I'm the same. I like actually even more on like a crispy side, but I think, so baking powder makes things really puff. So baking soda reacts once, just when it hits something acidic. So you get that one little puff and then it kind of calms down. Kind of like making a vinegar volcano. It happens really quickly and then it's gone. Baking powder, on the other hand, reacts once and then it reacts again when it hits the heat of the oven, giving you that extra puff. Which is why it's so great in cakes and things like that. So I would try to maybe omit the baking powder. Is there also baking soda in it? Do you know?
I think so.
Yeah, so I would so basically like the ratio, if it's like a teaspoon of baking powder, you'd want to use like a quarter teaspoon of baking soda because it's stronger. But I would try that. And then also, if you can up the amount of white sugar as opposed to brown sugar. White sugar tends to spread a little bit more and give you more of that crispy. The brown sugar still gives you chew, so don't get rid of it. But one of my secret tips is I like a little bit more white sugar. I like baking soda only, and I really like adding the tiniest bit of cornstarch. Just like a teaspoon of cornstarch gives you, because it holds on to moisture a little bit differently, gives you a real nice chew, which is always good. Yeah, perfect combination. That's a good question though. Nicely done. Yeah.
You.
I was like, science. Yeah.
Mary likes answering science
I
questions.
do love science questions.
Okay, I'm gonna hand this to you, otherwise I'll hurt myself.
Oh yeah. Hi there.
Hi, Mary. It's Natasha
Hi,
from
Natasha.
Barrie.
Oh, right on.
And I'm so glad we've been trying to come here for a year. And my cousin Rhonda was able to get us tickets.
Rhonda, yeah.
My question to you is, I seen online you were in Italy.
Yes.
So my two questions of that, two-part is, what was your favorite area that you went to? And what was your favorite meal?
Ooh, this is a very good question. Okay, so favorite area, we always go, Tuscany is my favorite area. There's something about the light, it's so great. I love there's fennel in everything, and I love fennel. It's really, really great. Everything's like very like homey, I feel like cooking there, which I love. So Tuscany for sure is my favorite. We stayed kind of just outside of Florence, so a little kind of off the beaten path, which is really great. And I think the best thing we made new friends when we went this time. Margaret and Martin, and they took us to this little restaurant called Casa del Prosciutto. So if anybody's ever kind of in that area, it was amazing. It's this little like family run, like the Nono's in the back. He's 98. He's not retiring anytime soon. The like grandkids are serving. The one son bakes everything. He made this chocolate torte. That I was like, this is mainly eggs. And Margaret was like, there's no eggs in this. And I was like, Margaret, there's eggs in it. And I was lucky enough that he brought out the old family recipe book. And he let me take a picture, and then he told me if I share it with anyone, we got some. So I was like, so that is an at-home dessert only. They also do this really traditional potato-stuffed tortellini. And it's these specific potatoes from that region, and they taste kind of cinnamony almost. It was so good, like out of control. So that's that, honestly. Thank you. That was a good question. I've been wanting to talk about that, so thank you. Yeah, is that all?
That's
the
it. Can you just give us the name of that restaurant again and where it
del
is?
Prosciutto.
Casa
yes.
del Prosciutto.
And there's it's right on off of a river. I forget what town it is. I feel like there's only the one, but it's off of a river.
Google
You have to
it.
drive over a river, a one-lane thing, and you play chicken with the car coming the other way, and you're like, who's gonna go first? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you guys so much, though. You were such an amazing audience. Really great job. So good. Yeah. So good. Yeah.
All right, well done.